I think a common misconception about domestic violence cases is that they occur as an outburst, like an anger outburst, or as a result of substance use. And while those things might contribute to domestic violence, really it's about power and control. The threats of homicide or that type of behavior is the ultimate way to gain the power and control. And that's why the risk of lethality is so high when it comes to domestic violence. So by creating this courtroom that only handles domestic violence cases, we can ensure that everybody that's touching the case is trained on that dynamic and is handling the cases with the type of knowledge that's needed to properly address the parties that are involved.
We just want everyone who comes through that domestic violence courtroom to have education about how domestic violence affects everyone, not just you.
We also have a 3-hour class that I order as a condition of bond for first-time offenders. It has like a 94% attendance rate.
The RSV program, which is Relationship Sexual Violence Prevention Program, and that is for first-time offenders who are ages 18 to 26. We have habitual offenders of domestic violence who are more seasoned, who probably have a long pattern of domestic violence, and so we have a more intensive docket.
We created a specific docket for co-occurring substance use. We still hold them accountable for the no contact orders or the new charges. We take more of a therapeutic approach where we're trying to rehabilitate the offender, get them sober before we start working really on the power and control issues. So best practices for domestic violence dockets, especially like the compliance docket where we work with high-risk offenders, is to hold the offender accountable with swift and certain sanctions. At a bare minimum, accountability means we call you out on your behavior and we address it in some fashion. The things we do not tolerate are new domestic violence charges or violations of an order of protection or a no contact order. For new charges, a warrant is issued. And when I next see the defendant, they are taken into custody.
I think one of the main things that frightens victims about this process is when it comes to trial specifically, that means that we are requesting them to come in. That does include facing their abusers. And then of course, talking about a traumatic incident that has happened. If, let's say, a defendant is on probation, they do have an outlet to call us if, let's say, the abuser is making contact when they're not supposed to be making contact, or if there's a new charge. We have them on probation here at the court where they have specific orders. My role is to gather that information and then be their voice to the prosecutor or the voice to the judge or the voice to the probation officer. You know, after a trial, if she finds somebody guilty, I know that it does feel validating for victims that somebody believed them.
As a municipal court judge, the maximum range of punishment is 6 months, and the person would be paroled in 4. So it truly is not the most effective response here. So that's why I'm really motivated to make programs that work. I can work with an offender for 2 years when they're on probation.
However, the probation gives you a chance to actually get your issues resolved. Jail is not the actual solving to this problem. And so probation gives you the opportunity to get the real help that you need. You're not gonna get the help you need in jail. Behavior change. We can't keep doing the same thing, especially when it comes to conflict resolution. You don't have to hit a person to resolve a conflict. My greatest hope for the people that I work with is for them to be a better person from when I first met them. And it has happened. I've seen it, and that's what keeps me here. That's my passion, to know that I can see the behavior change.
I really am motivated to find programs that work, provide resources, break the cycle so that we can actually make change.
Hearing somebody say to them, I understand, and I'm so sorry that you're going through this. A lot of times people just want somebody to talk to listen, to validate that these things that are happening to them are not okay. I would want a domestic violence victim to know that's going through this court process that we do care about what's going on. We can't always do exactly what somebody is requesting, but we do want to provide justice for what has happened and help change behavior of the defendant so that there's not any future violence moving forward.
There's no question that it's better for our community to provide the people with the resources that they need so they can thrive along with everybody else.